You have greatness inside of you. You have greatness inside of you. And I want to share this message with you, especially if you're someone who feels like, oh, your past or your past mistakes are going to hold you back from your future. Or that somehow where you come from is going to somehow determine or limit where you're going, right? Or that maybe you feel like, because so many of us do this, we tell ourselves stories like, oh, I've failed too many times. I have too many regrets. You have no idea the mistakes I made, the people I've hurt. You have no idea the things I got wrong, the times I let other people down, the times I let myself down. And we start focusing on this story and we decide that our past somehow now disqualifies us from all of our potential, from all of our goals and dreams, from all the things that we feel deep down inside in our soul that we're put on this earth to step into. I want to talk to you right now if you feel like somehow you've made too many mistakes, or your past is going to prevent you from succeeding in the future, or that you've failed so many times that now you feel like you're a failure. Okay, here's the deal. Every single one of us, and especially if you just take a moment and you Google right now, the most incredible thought leaders in the world, the people that have moved humanity forward, the people who have built incredible businesses, the people that have, helped heal humanity as a force for good or a force for love, and you read their stories, every single one of them has had so many failures, so many mistakes, so many setbacks, has been canceled big time in whatever version the society called canceled in that time period, right? Every single one of them. But they're the brave ones, willing to acknowledge and not let it take root in their identity and not let their past determine their future. So I want to talk to you today, if this is you, if you feel like you've been hanging on to a story that tells yourself things like, I don't have what it takes because I've failed too many times, or I don't have what it takes because people keep rejecting me, I must just be a reject, or I've failed so many times, I must be a failure, or I'm so ashamed of the people I've hurt or the things that I regret in my life. And when we hang on to those things, we let them take root in our identity, and then we start to believe the lie that who we are isn't worthy, and that those things somehow prevent us from a whole different, big, bright, incredible future that we're actually meant to step into. Your past mistakes do not determine your future potential. They just don't. A couple of stories. So I share in Worthy, by the way, there's an entire chapter called You Have Greatness Inside of You. And this chapter is going to be life-changing for anybody who feels like you've made too many mistakes, or you don't have what it takes, or you've let people down or hurt people, or you've failed too many times, or people have rejected you too many times. This is an entire chapter about how to tap into the greatness inside of you and not let your past determine your future. This is so big, y'all. I have made, a lot of times when people Google my story, they see, oh, Jamie Kern Lima, went from Denny's waitress to building $1 billion business, and it looks like a fairy tale, and it looks like maybe things must have just come easy, or maybe I was raised in a family where I was just set up to do that. And let me just tell you, I have made more mistakes in my life than I can ever count. I made more mistakes building at cosmetics than I can ever count. I have made mistakes growing up, hanging around the wrong people. I made mistakes growing up when I had really low self-worth and I confused attention with love. I made a lot of choices that I share, by the way, for the first time ever in Worthy, a lot of choices in my life that, whoo, do I regret. A lot of choices I've never shared with anyone because I was ashamed of what happened. A lot of choices that led me to hanging out with people that were not good for me. And also just like, keeping people in my life who hurt me because I didn't think I was worthy of more. There were times in my life, I remember waitressing at Denny's. I remember, I had these big dreams, but I just felt like somehow people like me who come from the way I was raised, like, don't ever have big dreams happen to them. And here's the thing I know is that when it comes to your life, when it comes to your dreams, your goals, your careers, your ambitions, like over time, we don't perform to the level of our potential. We actually plateau at the level of our self-worth. And so learning to do the work to first identify like, oh, wait, okay, let me just look at all the evidence out there of all the people that have ever done incredible things. Oh, they have pasts too. They've made so many mistakes too. They've been rejected so many times. They've failed so many times, but they keep going. And look what happens, right? Just looking at that evidence, right? Changing that story, changing the story we're telling ourselves about our past and how it does not have to determine our future is step one. And also just being aware of the story that we're telling ourselves, right? And then making the decision to believe the truth. Because here's the deal. When we believe our past disqualifies us from everything, A, it's a lie. B, it's a thought and a story we're telling ourselves. And our thoughts and those stories live in our minds. That's where self-doubt lives. But when you tune into your soul, and if you feel that feeling like you're on this earth to do great things, to love, to serve, to give, when you ask your soul, whether it's for you, you pray about it, or you meditate about it, whatever is your practice of choice. But when you tune into your soul, for me, I pray, and I will hear the truth. My past does not disqualify me. My past does not determine where I'm going. It just doesn't. And who I am fully is enough. And you right now, does not matter what's happened in the past. If you tune into your soul right now, you get really still. You can pause this video. Pray, meditate, whatever speaks most strongly to you. And you tune into your soul, right? You're going to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are special. You are one of a kind. You are fully worthy. You have greatness inside of you. And your past does not have to determine your future unless you decide to live there. You decide to live in the past, focus on the past, then it becomes a huge thing. It magnifies and it takes root in your identity. But right now, and I go in deep in how to do this in Worthy, right now, you can literally make the decision. I'm not going to focus on that anymore. I'm not going to believe that old lie and that old story that I've made too many mistakes, so I'm a mistake, or I've failed too many times, so I'm a failure, or I've been rejected so many times, I'm a reject. That is a lie that it's time to unlearn. Okay, so awareness, number one. Number two, just really paying attention to what is that story and making the decision. I'm not going to focus on that story anymore. I'm not going to believe the lie that my past or my past mistakes are going to determine my future, because they don't. And then step three is tuning into that truth that knows. It knows what it knows, what it knows, which is that you right now are fully worthy, fully capable, have everything you need inside you right now to accomplish the greatest dreams and goals on your heart. And the most important journey you can ever take is building your self-worth up and learning to believe that for yourself. So the new story is the true story. The new story is the true story. The new story is that you right now are not your past mistakes. You right now are your present and future intentions. Your present and your future intentions. That's who you are. That's who you are. And you can decide who you are right now. You can decide what you're going to step into and the person you're going to be born to be, because at the end of our life, right? I always think about this. I don't want to look back and go, what has self-doubt cost me? And have the answer just be so much I can't even handle it. I want to look back and go, yeah, I failed. Yeah, I put myself out there. Yeah, I got rejected. But like, I'm one of the brave ones that I left it all out on the field. And look at the beauty and the magic and the incredible moments in my life that came as a result of being the one out there on the field, giving it my all, making the decision that my past mistakes, my past failures do not define me, and I'm fully worthy of stepping in to the person God made me to be, the person your creator made you to be, the person you know in your soul you're born to be.